I'm recording, but it will just record my face, not yours. Welcome to Core and Glutes. So today we're going to be playing around with speeds a little bit. So each interval will have a couple different speeds in it, and you'll see the slower you go, the harder it gets. But we're going to start with a little warm up first. So we're going to start in quadruped today. So you can find hands and knees here. So those wrists go right under your shoulders. Also, I guess I forgot some other important things too. Feel free to play music on your end. Just make sure you mute yourself so that, you know, the music doesn't play for everyone. Take modifications however you need. And I'm excited for us to do this. So wrists right under the shoulders. Knees are actually a little bit in from your hips. And find that core engagement before you even start. So you're, again, tucking the chin a little bit, finding a neutral spine. And the core is starting to engage here. So pelvis is even, and we're gonna lift up that left knee and then bring that foot behind us. So it's still on the ground, and we'll just do some light rocking back and forth on that left foot. So just warming up the calf a little bit. If you have really tight calves, this might feel pretty good. And the core is still engaged here, so not letting the lower back, you know, drop too much. All right, so finding that neutral, again, we're gonna lift that left foot straight up and back. So if you can see me here, I'm lifting that foot, flex toe, and we're gonna hold it there for a second. So starting to fire up that glute. And we're gonna start an abduction movement. So you're bringing that left foot out to the side and back in here. So this is one way to really fire up the glute fast. So foot comes out to the side, back in, and obviously because we're playing with speeds, this is pretty slow. So we're not trying to just move the foot around too fast. This is a nice slow movement. Yeah, glute activation. All right, bringing that foot back to the middle, we're gonna lift it up and down. So only really a couple inches up and down. This shouldn't be a big movement, but you may feel the hamstrings start to engage too. And if you find the pelvis just tipping to one side, take a second and kind of reevaluate where the pelvis is. All right, last one, we're gonna bend that foot up to 90 degrees and do a little press. So like we're stamping our foot into the ceiling here. So again, that hamstring is gonna be activated as well as the glute. Just a couple little pulses. 3, 2, 1. You can slowly bring that knee back down. You can shake the hips out for a second if you need. Then we'll switch to our right leg. So again, engaging the core first, extending that right leg out, and we'll do our tilting forward and back, just warming up that calf a bit. And if you find that your shoulder blades are just pressing up here, see if you can relax them down your back a bit. All right, finding that neutral, we're lifting that right leg straight up and back. And if you find that hip point is really lifting up, take a second. You can even put your hand on your back and making sure it's staying even. And then we'll start that abduction. So foot going out to the side, so to the right and back in. And if you're making sure the hips, the core is not dropping here, it's still engaged. Ignore Ryan's weird sounds while he does this.
Just let it go.
Good, so here we're really warming up all those muscles that connect into our hip socket so that we can be super ready for our intervals. All right, coming back to the middle, we're bringing that leg up and down. So just lifting it a couple inches, that toe is flexed in towards you. Yeah, that's fine too. All right, bending that knee, and then we're back into just a little, my foot looks so funny here. All right, that foot is stamping up towards the ceiling again, a little movement. Okay. Good, we'll do 2 more. Good, you can bring that knee down. We'll just come into a really quick child's pose. So just dropping those hips back for a second. Still keeping this active, so keeping the elbows off the ground so you can warm up the shoulders a little bit. All right, you're gonna come forward with the palms on the ground. So we're actually gonna do a cat and cow from our forearms. So those knees are a little bit in from your hips, and you're gonna push into the palms and the forearms and kind of start to arch up that upper back. So you're opening up the shoulder blades, and then you can pull the hands back like you're pulling your chest through and get some opening in the chest. And then again, pressing. So it's like a cat-cow, but on your forearms. Really pressing up into those shoulder blades, feeling some opening, and then releasing by pulling the hands through. And you're not trying to arch your back here. You're just trying to get some movement in that chest. All right, we're gonna take this into a dolphin for a little series. So you can keep the hands here, or you can bring them together on the mat, whatever feels best. You're gonna tuck the toes and lift the hips up to the sky. So keep the knees bent here, find some buoyancy. And really make sure the core is engaged here. We tend to really bring this into our back, pressing into the forearms in the ground. And we can just bend one knee at a time here. So kind of walking out the dog, so to say. And you'll find this warms up the shoulders, the core, the glutes, and the hamstrings, everything pretty fast. All right, we'll lift that left leg up just for a second. And then we'll switch to the other side, lift the right leg up. One more time through, we'll lift that left leg up. And then your right leg up. And then you can bring those knees down. All right, you should feel warmed up here. If you don't feel warmed up, you'll get warmed up pretty fast on our interval. So for our interval, the first 30 seconds, you'll be doing an exercise at a normal speed. So just think like the normal speed you would do it, and that's gonna be different for all of us. The second 30 seconds is half speed. So cutting that speed in half, so pretty slow. And then final 30 seconds is holding that exercise at contraction, which will make sense when we're doing it. And then 30 seconds of rest, and then one more time through. So I'm gonna grab a sip of water. For those of you who come to my classes, you may know that we are starting with a glute bridge. So we'll start on our back here. We're actually gonna be doing a one leg glute bridge to start. So you're pressing that low back down into the mat. You can start with either leg here. You'll go to the other leg on the next time. Let me pull up my timer. So remember, 30 seconds of that normal speed. So you can, again, I'm gonna start with my left leg, my right knee's up at 90. And I'm just gonna start with a normal speed, lift and lower, one leg glute bridge in 3, 2, 1. So you're staying on this leg for the whole minute and a half. You can also, I never draw my hips down totally. You can if you want, but you're lifting and lowering, squeezing that left glute here. So normal speed. So that left glute's gonna fire up real fast here. You can always take breaks in between. We're getting ready for that half speed in 3, 2, 1. So slowing this down. These noises today, Ryan. Good, so nice and slow. So the core is still activated here. This shouldn't be going into your low back. If your glutes weren't activated already, I'm sure they're getting fired up now.
Listening back to my quad too.
All right, 3, 2, we're holding at contraction, so holding at the top here. I even like putting my hand on my pelvic point to make sure my hips are even. Yeah, you can also feel some quad engagement, but really the fire should be in the glute here. Good, almost there, 10 seconds. 30 seconds off here, and then we'll switch to the other side. So same thing on the other side. We'll start with, well, if you did the same side as me, we'll start with the left knee bent and then the right leg down or whatever leg you were on. So same thing, we're doing that normal speed, lift and lower. Round 2. Starting in 3, 2, 1. So before you even lift, making sure that back is staying flat and core is engaged here. So a lot of the work is also that right foot pressing into the ground. So the tension between the floor and your foot. Good. So getting that extension in the hip. You may find that one side is way easier than the other. All right, half speed in 3, 2, 1. This side is definitely weaker for me. So we're at half speed here, slowing down the left and lower. Ow! This is my injured side. Oh, this side is so much worse. Remember, you can always take a little break and then come back to it. This is your time. All right, coming to that hold in 3, 2, 1. We're holding at that contraction at the top. So dialing the glutes up to about 90 here. They're really fired up, pressing that foot down into the ground, and you'll feel some extra little strength. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Nice job, everyone. So round 1 done. We're moving down to the next exercise, which is scissors. So we'll be on our back for this one, and this is really working the core. Although I would argue the glutes are part of the core, but for core, we're going to talk about abdominals primarily today. So for the scissors, you have a bunch of different options. So option 1 is to keep both feet on the ground. You can have the hands behind the head, and you can do scissors here. So just lifting and lowering like this. You can also bring the feet up and then drop one and switch to the other, or you can have the hands down. You can have them underneath your hips if you want a little bit more, or you can also do your all-out scissors. It's also going to depend on your hip mobility. We all have very different hip mobility, so depends how your legs feel on that too. So the first 30 seconds, normal speed. Second 30 seconds, half speed. Third, you're going to hold one way. And then when we do it again, you'll hold the other way. So try to remember which way you held the first time. All right, we'll start on our back. So remember your options. You can have hands behind your head. You can have hands on the ground. We'll start in 3, 2, 1. So really important here that the lower back is staying on the ground the whole time.
These aren't arches?
Nope. So this is a core exercise. So the lower back is on the ground. So finding that normal speed. And remember, you can always keep the knees bent. This doesn't have to be a straight leg exercise. All right, slowing down in 3, 2, 1. So half time here. I like to pretend there's like bands attached to my feet that are pulling them up and down. And if you find that lower back is coming up, move your hands around to a place where you can sustain this for that whole minute and a half. All right, getting ready for that hold in 3, 2. So one foot is down, one foot is up. Choosing your side. We'll go to the other side on the next time. Good, breathing here. Getting into those deep core muscles. 3, 2, 1. 30 seconds off. Whew, that was a burner. All right, doing the same thing on the other side. Just this 30 seconds, it will be with the other foot down on the final hold. So we have about 15 seconds. Take a second, feel free to grab water at any point, and then we'll hop right into that next round. All right, scissors. Again, we're back to that normal speed in 3, 2, 1. So that normal speed scissors here. Again, top priority is feet staying on the, or lower back staying on the ground. So wherever you need to be to keep that lower back pressed into the mat. So feet can be on the ground, knees can be bent, knees, legs can be straight, whatever feels like you can keep your form the best. All right, half speed, 30 seconds here. So slowing it down, we're not rushing. This is really the time to play around with that speed and see how different it feels on these. All right, getting ready for that hold in 3, 2, 1. So finding that other side here, holding. See if you can really like lift up the bottom of your pelvis and press down the top. So you're really getting into those deep core muscles. Those are the ones that help you when you're holding something for endurance for this long. Good. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Nice job. Feel free to grab water at any point. I'm going to grab a sip and then we'll go into our next round. Everyone feel that a little bit? All right. So our next exercise is a modified side plank with leg pulses. So you'll bring your, we'll start with our right hand, right knee. So you can either have that foot kicked out for stability, or if you want a little bit more balance challenge, you can keep that foot in line with your hip. So I'll demo with my foot out. And then you're gonna be lifting up the top leg. So first 30 seconds, you're just doing that normal speed. Second 30 seconds will be more of a small pulse. And then that final 30 seconds, you're holding. It's gonna be rough. But what I like about this exercise is you're getting your abductors, your adductors, your quads, your glutes, and your hamstrings all in one. So you're really getting that pelvis to work ideally here by really engaging all of those small muscles. So let's do it. So remember your options, you can kick that foot out, you can have that knee underneath, your choice. We'll start lifting and lowering in 3, 2, 1. So I like having my hand on my hip so I can keep my pelvis even. You can drop the neck a little bit if you want, but you're also pressing that shoulder blade down on your back so your shoulder's not forward, it's relaxed down. So lifting and lowering that top leg to the ground and then back up. So that glute should fire up pretty fast. You can also squeeze it a little bit and you'll feel some opening in that front hip flexor. All right, so we're coming to those pulses. So that foot is staying lifted. We're in that second 30 seconds. This is where it really starts heating up. Checking in on that core engagement too here. Ow! I think Ryan might die here. He's making a lot of very strange noises.
Deep glute activations.
All right, and we're holding. So finding where you can sustain this here, holding. My foot is like 4 inches above the ground, so really whatever you can hold for that 30 seconds with good form. We only have to do this side once, so after this, you're done with this side. Final 10 seconds. Ah! I hope you all are feeling this too. Ow. All right, 3, 2, 1. Woo. All right, right, we will do that other side. So take that 30 seconds of recovery and then we'll switch to our other side here. Maybe this will be your easier side, who knows? All right, getting into that modified side plank on your other side. We'll start in 3, 2, 1. So you're lifting and lowering that top leg. Really just tapping the ground and then check in on that shoulder blade to be really relaxed down your back. And don't let your ribs flare too much. See if you can kind of tuck them in. So you can check where your ribs are, and then that helps you keep the neutral spine the whole time. All right, we're coming to those pulses in 3, 2, 1. So flexing that toe in towards you, lifting that foot up off the ground, and we're doing those little pulses. So you can feel that hip start to really get strong, and that helps you for, you know, all of those daily movements like walking upstairs, running and walking. All right, we're holding in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, glute med, super important for any time you're stepping. And feel free, you can always take a break and come back at any point. Final 10 seconds, and you want to lift that foot just a ½ inch higher. Good. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Sometimes I feel like that one really gets muscles you don't even know exist in your hips. How was that? I feel like Isabel has something to say. Oh, she's dying. Yeah. All right, well, you're in luck. We're back to core. You can see I'm alternating because I'm a good instructor. So next up is bicycle crunches. So as with scissors, a bunch of options. So option 1 is to keep those feet on the ground. So the same way as the scissors. So you can do opposite elbow, opposite knee, and just keep both of those feet on the ground. Or you can bring those knees up and do your full extension, extending out and back in. So either of those, up to you. So obviously first 30 seconds, normal speed. My pet peeve is when people at the gym just go with their feet. I don't ever want that to be your normal speed. Still try to find that control even as you're going at a steady tempo. And then for your hold, you'll hold towards 1 for that 30 seconds, which is gonna really get into those obliques. Let's do it. All right, starting on your back, finding that neutral spine. We'll start in 3, 2, 1. So opposite knee to opposite elbow. Well, more like opposite elbow to opposite knee. You're supporting your neck here. So you can always have those feet on the ground and tap where you can extend them out and in. And you're really, it's more of an elbow up to the knee. So you're lifting up off that shoulder blade than you are bringing that knee in towards you. All right, we're slowing down in 3, 2, 1. So slowing this move down. Again, pressing down with that low back. Getting ready for that hold on one side in 3, 2, 1. So really lifting up off that shoulder blade towards whatever leg you've chosen. And here's where you really want to recruit those obliques. Good, 10 seconds left. Good, 3, 2, 1, 30 seconds off. We'll go through that one more time. if the first time feet on the ground felt too easy, maybe you want to try lifting them off. If you feel like your form was bad, maybe you want to keep feet on the ground, choosing your level. We'll start same thing, so normal speed bicycle crunches in 3, 2, 1. So you can try a totally different thing, really your choice here on what this looks like. As long as that neck is being supported and your lower back is staying on the ground, I'm pretty happy. All right, getting ready for that half speed in 3, 2, 1. So slowing everything down. Oh. See, I feel like feet on the ground is still very hard. All right, we're getting ready for that hold in 3, 2, 1. So same thing on the other side, holding that elbow into your knee wherever you are, lifting up off that shoulder blade. Good, final 10 seconds if you want to try to lift up a ½ inch more. 3, 2, 1. Relax, nice job. All right, we're checking off all of our different areas of our core and glutes. So next up, we're working that abductor. So we're standing up for this one. So this will also be a little bit of a balance challenge. So finding those hip points, one of the knees is bent and we're extending that leg out to the side and back in, toes flexed. So normal speed, and then obviously half speed, we're slowing it down, and then we're holding for that 30 seconds, and then we'll do the other side for the next one. All right, let's do it. Starting in 3, 2, 1. So I like finding my hip points so that my hips are staying neutral here. So we're extending out and in. You can also hold on to something if you don't want to work on your balance. That's totally fine too. So that core is supporting your whole pelvis here. So you can see how Ryan's hips coming up. So he needs to make sure his hips are staying neutral. Yeah. I like to literally put my fingers on my pelvis. All right, slowing down. So half speed, extending out to the side, and then back in. Ooh, I feel my hip flexor on my.
This is supposed to work the stabilizing leg, right?
Yep, this is working the steep. Well, yeah, you can feel it in both, but primarily.
I'm mostly the left.
And again, it kind of depends on what everyone's compensating muscle is. All right, getting ready for that hold in 3, 2, 1. You're holding it. So still with a neutral pelvis, but that leg is out to the side. Ah! Putting my hands in my pockets because I don't know what to do with them. Oh, all the little muscles working to keep you up. You can see how functional this movement is. We do this movement a lot in our daily life. 3, 2, 1. You can shake it out. We'll go to the other side here. Giving my ankles a couple rolls. So you can see the difference of when your hips up here and you're doing it, than when that pelvis is really where it's supposed to be in that neutral position. All right, we're back to that other side. We're starting those leg lifts in 3, 2, 1. So same thing on the other side. And as with the other exercises, you may find that one side is much easier, much harder than the other side. So even with this normal speed, this should never be, super, super, super fast. All right, slowing it down here for 30 seconds. So seeing if you can really get that abductor to do the work. And also that glute med on your right side. Especially if you're a runner, the abductors are really chronically weak. So you want to strengthen them through movements like this. All right, we're holding. Finding that holding position here. Checking in, making sure those ribs aren't flaring, tucking them in so that the core can really help lift you out of your pelvis. Ryan's adding in some optional one leg squats back there. Always an option. World's your oyster. I will not be doing that, but you are more than welcome to. All right, 3, 2, 1. Whew, mother of pearl, that hurt. All right, we have 2 more rounds and then we'll be done. So we're coming on our side here. We'll be doing oblique lifts. So you're gonna come down on your arm. So I'm coming all the way down to like on my armpit. And those feet are out right in front of you. And then you're gonna bring that top arm. You can either bring it up to 1 foot, or actually, I guess I'm bringing my arm out to the side usually. Or you can bring both hands, or one hand to both feet. So again, we're back into that oblique in the core. So extending up, and then remember your option is always to do it just to 1 foot. All right, let's do it. So 30 seconds, normal speed. So coming down on that armpit, that arm is extended out in front of you, or if it feels better to be at the top, your choice. 3, 2, 1. So 30 seconds, normal speed here. And don't worry, you can always come on your forearm. That's not, yeah, that's what I just said. Yeah, you can always just do 1 leg instead. But you are bringing that, you are coming up. So bring this arm down. Yeah, yeah. So you can be lifting both those legs or just 1. All right, we're slowing it down here. So half speed. So half speed doesn't necessarily mean that your time at the bottom is longer. It just means that your contraction is longer. All right, we're getting ready for that dreaded hold in 3, 2, 1. So 30 seconds, finding that contraction. Oh, oops. Right now. All right, 15 seconds. Oh, my oblique. Good. 3, 2, 1. Whew. Relax. All right, we're going to that other side. Same thing. And again, modify these however you need. If something feels better, feel free to find that. All right. Bringing that arm down on the other side. Those feet are stacked. Again, 1 leg or both leg, your choice. We'll start in 3, 2, 1. So again, you're really firing up the oblique here into that hip flexor and abductor that we were just working. And then obviously some more central abdominal muscles are having to help you lift up those legs too. All right, half speed in 3, 2, 1. So slowing everything down. Breathing. All right, finding that hold in 3, 2, 1. Next time you're at the top, you're holding here. Oh, this side is so much worse. Wherever you are, you're still finding that neutral spine. Core is still engaged here. Three, 2, 1. Whew. All right, we have one final round here. We have a one-leg deadlift. So we'll be standing again. So this is our last chance to work on balance. So you'll plant, I'm gonna move back a little bit so you can see me. So you'll plant that left leg, or I guess the right leg here. Again, making sure those hip points, and you can have your hands down in front of you. You can have them on your hips. You're coming forward. So again, my pelvis is not opening up, coming forward over that front leg. And then I sometimes even like bringing my knee up to 90, or you can just keep that leg straight the whole time. And then we'll slow it down for that 30 seconds, and then we'll do our 30-second hold in our airplane position. So final little challenge here. We'll start in 3, 2, yeah, if you have weights, you could add weights on if you want. 1, so tipping forward over that front leg. Again, trying to keep that neutral pelvis. And you're gonna tip. It's, you know, it's just the nature of being on one leg. So you can always come back and reevaluate. My balance is surely not perfect. All right, slowing it down. So half speed here. So you're imagining you're pressing that hip crease back into the wall behind you. So the hips are pressing back, and then you're becoming parallel over that knee. Obviously, that's an ideal situation. We all are how we are. All right, getting ready for that hold on whatever side you're on in 3, 2, 1. So coming forward, finding that hold. And I recommend finding a point on the ground to really help your focus. You can keep the hands on your pelvis, whatever feels good. Ooh, lighten up that whole back chain here. Checking in on your core. Good. 3, 2, 1. Ah, ouch. All right, we're doing that other side. So last minute and a half before we start cooling down a bit. You can shake out those legs if that feels good. All right, stepping into that left leg if you were on the same leg as me. And we'll start with that normal speed one leg deadlift in 3, 2, 1. So tipping forward. You can even check in on your pelvis and your neck by putting a hand on the back of your neck and a hand on the back of your pelvis. Whatever works best for you and your balance. So you can see with this movement too, there's not really a fast version having good form. So don't worry about your speed here. All right, half speed in 3, 2, 1. Pressing that hip point back. You may even be able to feel that femur really getting snug into your hip socket. Squeezing the glute to lift you back up here. So you can see all those muscles we've worked so far are helping us do this move. So our core, our obliques, abductor, adductor, quads. All right, holding at the bottom here, 30 seconds. Whoo! Ah! Good, final 15 seconds. You can always bend that bottom knee. You don't ever have to straighten it out. 3, 2, 1. Whew, final shakeout. All right, nice job, everyone. We're gonna do a couple cool down exercises and then you will be done. So we're gonna start with just some wide leg side lunges. So just moving those hips back and forth here. You can do the same thing where you press back into your hip points, or if it feels okay for your hands to be on the ground, really try to press those hips back. We're opening up into the hamstrings and the glutes, a little bit into the low back. If it feels okay, you can plant that right hand and open up with the left. We'll switch to the other side, left hand down, right arm opens. Good, we'll walk to the front and drop that right knee down so that left knee is bent, and reach those arms up. And we're gonna drop that right arm and reach up and over with that left arm, really keeping that glute engaged so that we're getting a full opening in that oblique on your left side. Feels okay to drop the neck. You can do that too. Good, coming back to center, we'll just come forward and do another little twist here. So planting that right hand and opening up towards that left leg. You can drop the neck here too if that feels like an opening. And same thing with that modified side plank, you're still bringing that shoulder blade down your back. Good, we're coming back into the middle here. So we'll stand up with those feet pointing forward. And we're gonna bring, you can't really see my arms, but we're gonna bring our arms to goalposts and just come to some thoracic twists here. So the knees can have a little bend to them, and just twisting a little bit, opening up that chest area. As you can imagine, our thoracic spine is connected down to our pelvis and to our neck. So, all right, we're doing the same thing on the other side. So bringing that other knee down. So that right knee is forward here. You can also, if you don't want to face away from me, you can switch back to the front. And we're bringing those arms up. And then we'll drop, let's see, opposite side, this way. Yeah, right arm up. And then we're lifting towards that knee that's down. So opening up that whole side. Good, and then coming back down, so we're planting that left hand, we're twisting. So feeling some opening in that chest. You can drop the neck if that feels okay. So you can't really see me, but I'm here. Good, and then we'll bring those knees down and just come to a couple cat-cows on our hands. So pressing into the hands, dropping the neck, and protracting those shoulders up. And then pulling those palms back, opening the chest. So find this at your own pace, no rush. Good, and then we'll just end seated. So crossing those legs over, finding that neutral spine. So stacking your skull on top of your shoulder blades, on top of your sacrum. And you can just come to some shoulder rolls. So releasing some of that tension in our upper body. And you are done. Thank you so much for coming. Would love any feedback you have. Feel free to take some more time and stretch if that feels good for you. So this was core and glutes. Obviously, there's not a lot of jumping or high intensity, so this is more working on those functional muscles like our core and our glutes that help us do activities. My HIIT class, which is next week, will be more high intensity, still focused on form, but more high intensity, so you can kind of see what classes, you know, work best for what you're looking for. So I'm going to stop recording.